In Miami, Auzzo, this is episode 115 on the Screws Off the Bone. Gage Ausmus, Jay Swish, reporting live from Dade County, Miami. Auzzo in the chin of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Yeah, dude, Well, we can get into the chug off in a little bit, but my God, did you do anything for St. Patty's Day? I went full paraplegic on Friday, and I still haven't recovered. Like, I haven't had a shift like that where I'm just retarded. But that city of Chicago it gets anyone going, but it really gets me going, being that was kind of my old stomping grounds growing up. Anytime you go into the city, Verona, Wisconsin kid, played there in the jungle for 2 years, obviously, but dude, and then I had my sister in the mix. Yeah, man, it got out of hand on Friday. I had removed myself from the action, which I'm pretty normally good at. I'm a pretty self-aware guy. Thankfully, I have, that's one of my only good traits about me. Yeah. But it got to be about 12:30, and I took a sip of a high noon, and I said, if I don't get out of here, I'm either going to puke or piss my pants. So I got out of there about 12:30. But the thing is we've been drinking all day because of the chug off,
Mm-hmm. And then what day do they celebrate it on Saturday?
Yeah, so it was a little bit Friday was the warm-up night, and then Saturday's the big tilt, Sunday a little bit it bleeds into, and then the real professionals were recording on Monday. Maybe might have a few Guinness tomorrow.
Yeah, that's incredible. But I've been there for that Saturday shift. I was also there on a Friday. We didn't do much, we just went out. But that Saturday shift in St. Patty's Day in Chicago is like, that's the biggest gong show you could possibly find for booze.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I got to the point also where I somehow was able to call. Like I don't black out. I really don't. I maybe one or two times in my career. I usually kind of get to the point where I was at on Friday, where I just kind of either stop drinking or just remove myself from the action, so I just completely don't embarrass myself any further. That is, but. I got out of there, and we were thinking about maybe staying on Saturday, and I woke up. I said, there is no way. I got to get out. If I did another shift like that, I think I'd have to check into the Betty Ford, right, and get into a rehabilitation program, because that was insane. Yeah, man. And then I was getting Snapchats and some messages out of Chicago. Oh, you guys left. And I was just seeing some game film. Every year it looks crazy, but you get a little bit more removed from being a college kid. It was like the setup was crazy. Also, like the bars, they were doing the wristbands, they were shutting down streets. Obviously the rivers died. I mean, that energy for that holiday it's like none other.
Oh, I've never seen something like it. I don't know why. It doesn't seem like they do that in any other big city either, but I don't know. Like last time I was there, I've got a video of me. I was real tuned up. It was like 2 p.m. in a nightclub getting bottle service. It was like 2 p.m. It was like our middle stop out of like the 10 bars we went to.
When was the last time you did it?
I want to say it was like 3-4 years ago now. Maybe it was insane. We went to like 10 different bars. And they're all just juiced, and everyone, it seems like everyone in the city is just bar hopping. And there's so many cool bars in Chicago. Like, I don't know. It was an incredible time. But yeah, at the end of the day, I remember at like even 10 p.m. I was pretty much a walking puddle.
Yeah, and I mean the fact that you even made it to 10 is unreal.
Oh yeah, because I think we started at 8 a.m. It was. I don't know if I ate any food all day.
Yeah,
and I don't know really what I was drinking, probably a bit of everything. If I were to do that nowadays, Jordo, I would be dead.
Yeah, I mean, and it's my own doing, right? Like I'm not one of those guys that wakes up the following day and is trying to blame someone for roofing me, putting it into other people's hands why I was so drunk. But the thing was, Auzzo, is like you said, you had the 8 a.m. start. I was right on par with that because we had game 2 of the chug off.
Mm-hmm.
So game one, we started at Dublin's on Thursday around 10 a.m. because you can't go into a chug off, especially against a guy like Dana Beers with no lubrication down your throat, no ditty. Like
No,
you got to have like 4 to 6 in you.
for sure.
So I think I had 3 or 4 Thursday before the chug off. We did it. It went to overtime. I was a little buzzed, but I was fine. I just completely shut it down. That was the day I was texting you, and when Hards, our boy Matt Harder, who's the head strength coach of the Wild, sent me that regimen of doing the stairs. I did the
Mhm.
stairs later that day. I felt okay. But the next day I was like, well, Dana Beers took me to the woodshed, and I think the only chance I have against him is if I get a little bit more tuned up. So we were at the lodge at like right when it opened, like 10:01 a.m. And the chug off didn't start till noon. And I think I had 6 drinks and a shot in me going into the day 2, game 2 of the chug off. And from there, it was just, you get out of that, you have some beers afterwards. It's like 4 o'clock. I showered up, met my sister for happy hour. And then, I mean, you do that long of a shift, like, what are you
Yeah.
going to do? And then I'm ordering like lemon drops at dinner. I'm like, what am I doing? I don't even get shots anymore. And then the next day I'm waking up, I'm like, I was FaceTiming people. I don't FaceTime anyone when I'm shit faced. That's how you know I went just full retard. I was FaceTiming Nick. I was FaceTiming Abby. I was just like, dude, what are you doing? I
Uh,
wasn't embarrassed because I didn't pull any stunts or anything like that, but I was just shaking my head. I'm like, where are you? What do you? I guess that's baseball, man. I mean, that's all you can say.
yeah, that is baseball. That's
God
that's
damn it.
hilarious. I got to hear more about the Yug off. So is it 1-1 now?
It is. We're down 0-2,
Oh,
and
so yeah, I mean,
we're playing a big boy, dude. I didn't know Dana Beers was 270 pounds. Respectfully, he told me that, and I was like, "Damn, yeah." I was like, "Dana, how?" Like, I'm not trying to,
what is it? Is it just what you're timing one chug?
Yeah. So they have this formula that they developed. It was by a stoolie, so it's a little bit skeptical. I shouldn't say skeptical in a sense of Big Cat or Dana, but just skeptical on how the prototype works. So this Stooley, this guy who's just a super fan, came up with this scale that he came up with like in the last 2 weeks because he heard about the chug off. So he stayed up days on end developing this prototype. Like he's like an engineer by trade.
Mhm.
So you put your beer on the scale, the Yugometer, and it measures how quickly you take it off and chug it and then set it back down, and then the density of the beer comes into play. So that way, theoretically it takes out a variable of if the referee filled it all the way to the top or not. So it
Mm.
factors in time, how quickly you put it down, and then the density of the beer. So Dana's time the first day when we were using the glass jugs was like 4.4 to 4.5, which is a pretty good clip. It's not like their best guy like that Deutsch guy who could do it in like 2
Yeah,
seconds,
yeah.
but it's still respectable. I mean, it was about 17.1 ounces of beer. So just over a pounder. And I was doing it between like
Oh,
5.1 and 5.4, 5.5. So he's beat me by like a half a second every time. And I'm not like a unbelievable chugger. Like I used to be good at shotgunning, as you know,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
not chugging. So we couldn't compete with that. And yeah, they clipped us in OT. Gucci took care of his guy, who the other guy wasn't very good. And then
Mhm.
I was matched up against the big boy. But in order to, at least take 2 out of 3 to force it back in Chicago, and we end up doing it in AZ, we're gonna have to rig it. We're gonna have to have our people there. Not rig it in a sense, but just definitely set it up for us to win. Where like maybe we add a flip into play. You know what I mean? So you chug the beer,
I like
and
that.
you have to get your hands into play.
Yeah.
Take out the chugometer. I thought the chugometer was bullshit. It fucked me one time when I picked it up, and I think it started going too quickly. So we're gonna take the chugometer out. There's gonna be some different variables that we implement in, like I
Add a little
said.
baseball in there.
Yeah, I think it's gotta it I don't think those guys have the hands to flip. They can beat me on the chug, but I think I could make up the time against Dana with the flip. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun though. It was a hell of a 2 days. Big Cat literally went all out. The first day we had the Chicago Cubs anthem singer come in, and he
No way.
sung the national anthem. And then The second day, he had a bunch of cops in Chicago come in and play the bagpipes to try to stall us and ice us out for like 10 minutes. And then Darnell Wright of the Chicago Bears threw out the first pitch.
Shut up.
Yeah.
This sounds like a pretty good spectacle here. Just guys drinking beers.
It was unbelievable. Yeah, Big Cat's the man. It was quite the spectacle. There was 2 halftime shows. It was just fully simple Jack, but I wouldn't want it any other way. So yeah, we got games 3, 4, 5 in Scottsdale. We got to make it just as big of a spectacle. We're going to open it up to our fans as well. So there's going to be public admission. I think it's going to be pretty cool. We don't have a date set or anything like that, but yeah, it was funny, man. It was a hell of a time.
You might have to surprise everyone and work because, like, I don't know how quick it takes to learn this tactic, but you've seen those guys who can just open the gullet and just let it slide down. Like, I don't know how they do it.
Yes,
There's got to be a way.
Yeah, I don't know what you do. I don't know if you like practice chugging beers, and I don't really drink beers as is anymore.
Yeah.
Like, unless it's like basically on the golf trip and we're playing beer pong, like it's 2012 again. So I don't really even drink beers like in full, transparency over here at Live at 5. So I don't know. I mean, my time was actually not that bad. The one time I had a good start in game 2, I let off, and I had a really good start in game 2. And Tom, the referee, wanted to make it about himself versus the game of baseball, and I freaked out. Like, I was drunk, and I literally put, like, my first reaction was to put hands on the official. Like, that's what I did. I put hands on him. I don't know if you saw the video. I took the whistle off him. I spiked it. I gave him like a little noogie, and then, I was kind of getting held back. And at that point, it was more so just pay-per-view TV. But at the start, I was pissed. I went right at him.
Oh, man. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you're playing a guy named Dana Beers. So, like,
Right.
if he lost you in this competition, like, he'd almost have to change his name, right? Like, he shouldn't be losing any beer competitions.
Yeah, the guy's name's Dana Beers. His job is to chug beers. So I think going back on our soil is where we, because every field's different, every park's different. We can tip it in our favor. So I think
Are you friendly with Dana Beers? Like, are you like,
Yeah.
Are you guys like kind of, did you go out with him after game 2? Like, who are you hanging out with?
we didn't because they were streaming all day in the cave. They were watching March Madness or conference tournament ball. So we didn't really stay around. But yeah, you know what, Auzzo, it actually sucks how much I like Dana Beers, Gucci likes Dana Beers, and I think it sucks how much Dana Beers likes us. Like, there's no animosity. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to chirp the guy, but he's actually a good dude.
I was going to say, maybe you invite him out the night before game 3.
And fake buckle him.
Fake buckle him.
Yeah.
That might be the play.
Yeah. I was even thinking maybe, like, I like him too much, but maybe even just the eye drops in the beer, and you get the shits.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And I don't think you're evenly matched with this team. You got to do something to even it out.
Yeah,
Level
like,
the playing field.
in all seriousness, like, I don't want to like have it just rigged where we just win because it's like a charity case. That doesn't sit well with me. But I think if there's a way, like, again, like with the flip or different, maybe it's a cumulative score where, because the other guy's not very good, and we can get our numbers up a little bit where it's cumulative score and maybe a flip. Now we can get 2 out of 3, or we can get all 3 at home, and take it back to Chicago. And then again, it goes back to their rules too. Then anything goes, right? But I just think there's a way for us, and we got to get in the war room and figure it out. But there is a way for us to get 3. Like, I'm far off Dana Beers, but I'm not that far at the same time, if you know what I mean. Like I said, if you have the hands come and play or something along the lines of that, like I can, or you have to sink a beer pong shot afterwards after you.
And it's like, I don't think any of these rules are out of bounds because we're talking about baseball here. Like,
yes,
you could go to, Boston and the right field line is 305 feet away versus, you go somewhere else and it's 400.
Yeah.
That's just baseball. The arena's not the same. The stadium's not the same. The field's not the same. So
That's just it. And I think we bring in some intimidation. I don't know what that may look like, if it's bringing in some former NHL heavyweights, if it's bringing in some current NHL players, if it's bringing in some gals that maybe are dressed like they're in a WWE ring with some signs, and maybe they get distracted. Maybe it's giving them a locker room that is heated to the point where it feels like a sauna and it smells like shit. I don't really know, but it's got to be something like that where maybe we can even taint their beers, not putting Rufalin or eye drops in them, but maybe they have to funnel 14 ounce or sorry,
Mhm.
16 ounce, 14% IPAs, and we're drinking Bush Light. Like there's ways around it. You know what I mean? Like
For sure.
there's ways because we were drinking their beer coming out of the Dana Beers keg that he's been funneling for the last 3 or 4 years since he's been in Chicago. I think it's been like 3 years or 2 years. So there is ways to. We just need momentum.
Hit them with the oven beers.
Yeah. Yes. That's a great play. Yeah.
You got some experience with the oven beers.
100%. That's a great idea. Give them heavy IPA oven beers and they come out on a tray and they are just piss warm. That's a great idea because that's still the game within the game. You know?
Yeah. That's still a beer. Still got to
I like that idea. I really do. I think there is a world where we can grab all three. And just for content purposes, it needs to go at least 6. Like we need to get it back to Chicago for sure.
For sure. You got to do whatever you can to get it back there. What do you think was your drink total on Friday? What do you think you got up to?
Let me do the math here. So between the hours of 10 a.m. and let's just call it 2, since I left the Barstool office, and this is full transparency. We got to address it type shit. So yeah. I would say from 10 a.m. to 2 or 3, I'm at 13. Now I take a break from 3 to probably 5. Take a break. I just kind of gathered myself, chilled, took a shower. Then we went to Gibson's Italia on the river. Nasty spot for happy hour. Now I'm at happy hour. My first order, espresso martini. I do 3 of those. So now we're at 16.
Yep.
Followed by 2 old fashions. Now we're at 18.
You could be at 22.
Yeah. So now we do 2 old fashions and talk about this pivot afterwards. Just like I needed more caffeine. I do an Irish coffee.
Yeah, so need it.
Now I'm at roughly, 23 drinks. And we start hammering lemon drop shots. And I think I order 4 rounds for the table over the next hour of just lemon drop shots. And I got a sidecar. This is insane. A sidecar of Pinot Noir. House grapes. House grapes.
A
sidecar of house grapes. So now we're at 28. And this is, since 9 a.m. So it's not like we're in full alcohol anonymous here.
Yeah.
We go to the next bar. And it's before Mary Joe's, and we're kind of off of Division Street. I forget the name of it because this is where it starts to go a little fuzzy. And I have a high noon, just one, just one. Stay honest. I had to go piss. We were not there for long, so now we're at just under sub 30. We slide over to Mary Joe's. Now we run into some fans of the world's largest openly gay Chinese show, and they start buying us shots. This is where it goes south. I do 2 shots upstairs. I'm like, oh fuck, this is. I'm getting to that point where it's all hit. Like all 32 drinks just hit me at once. I order a sidecar neutralizer of a high noon. I don't even really drink it. I'm just walking around with it. Now I go back downstairs because Gucci's chilling with Nikki Smokes up top. By the way, good kid. I love that kid. He's chilling up top with Nikki Smokes and some fans, and there's a lot of people in the area. I go downstairs and I'm hanging out with my sister and her 2 friends. And I just put my elbow. I remember I just put my elbow and forearm on the bar, and I order another high noon because the other one got warmed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I get a high noon. I think we do 1 shot, and within about 42 seconds, I say, "Oh my god!" Like before I go full paraplegic or Paul Pierce wheelchaired out of here, I need to get the fuck out of here. So I hug my sister. I mutter something under my breath like, "Oh, ma." And get out of there, go back to the hotel. Somehow I was able to call an Uber. Like I was still there, Auzzo, but it was like, like one more sip. I might have been like Not on the floor, but, like, completely cross-eyed. It was just, when you get to
Yeah.
a certain age, you just know, like,
Yeah.
you can't be a full-on liability and a dipshit, like, even though I am a dipshit, but just, like, to the point where, "All right, we gotta get out of here." I was fully could talk and stuff, but I was just like, I gotta get out of here. It's been a good day. But, yeah, I would probably say if we're calling it a spade, it's probably
No,
33 33.
that's a good shift. I
Yeah,
mean,
33 drinks
and
on a ball.
you're talking an all day shift though. It's not that crazy, but it does add up at the end of the day. Um,
I mean, 15 hours on the bottle. It's realistically, I mean, if we're trying to make ourselves sound better, it's only 2 an hour.
which ain't bad. You
No.
know, I would say the variety of drinks you had though, like, okay, we're Monday now, so we're a full, 48 hours Saturday, Sunday, and then probably, we're maybe even 60 some hours into this.
Yep.
There ain't no way you're feeling good, right?
No,
Like
no.
that's gonna last a while.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's still lingering. Like I've done, a good amount of workouts. I've gotten in a lot of steps, but it's not one of those where you just reassess your life. It's one of those where you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna probably at least take this next weekend off.
Yeah,
And it's still Monday in your head. Like
yeah,
that's easy to say when you wake up Saturday. Oh yeah, I'm never drinking again. One of
for
those guys.
sure.
I've never been one of those guys because I don't live in the extremes. But it's Monday and I'm a realist, and I'm still sitting here saying I have no desire to have a drink because of what I put down the hatch that day and just the
Yeah.
variety menu that went into it.
The house grapes is the funniest one.
Yeah, reset.
It's
Reset.
unbelievable. Yeah.
What it's one of those where none of it sounds good. You've had everything that day. Think about beer, whiskey, Bailey's. I had
Oh,
tequila in my espresso martinis, and then the old fashioned with the more whiskey. Like I just was
lemon drops.
right. Like
Yeah.
I just needed to reset on the grapes.
Yeah. I mean, that had to have tasted great at the time.
Unbelievable.
It probably added, I mean, I would say at least just that one cup of wine probably added at least 5, 6 hours of hung time on there,
Yeah. Yeah.
but for sure worth it at the time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Saturday was not perfect, but yeah, I just had to address the elephant in the room.
What's your routine on trying to shake that one? Because I have a couple of those days and I'm like, God, like what do I do to shake this? Like you can't shake it, but you can cut back on the amount of hours it takes to actually fully recover.
Yeah, it was. I mean, when we got on a bird that day too in the morning at
Oh,
9:55 a.m. in the pigeon deck on American down to Dade County, Miami. I was still shit faced. I landed here and I went and got something to eat, Auzzo, and I said, if I get in bed right now, I might not wake up for
yeah.
14 hours. So I actually, you know what? I went hero mode and just turned the mind off and got right into my body, and I worked out. I worked out
That's
for yeah,
that's the way to do it.
I put in a real heavy shift of just punishing, myself in the weight room, and then I did about 20,000 steps after that, honestly, and it was about a
Oof.
4-hour clinic of just trying to get everything out of the body, and that's what I did because I knew if I went to bed, it would I would be done for. So I
Mhm.
really just tried to go mind over matter, and, but then the next day you wake because 'cause you're still so under recovered, you wake up still so hung, but at least I did something, you know?
You're just like tired the next day. You're just
Mhm.
bagged. Like you're like, I
Yeah.
can't think that well. Like I don't feel sick, but I'm just tired.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing you can do. Yeah, that's tough. You know what I've noticed when you do put in a shift like that, I don't know what's good for me for whatever reason when I the next day, I just want to eat the most unhealthy food ever.
Oh,
Like that's
yeah.
all I like. There's a vicious craving to just go get myself Five Guys or a Philly cheesesteak or something.
Yes.
Do you think that makes things worse or does
I
it help?
I think it's such a write-off the next day that it doesn't even matter. Now, I do think if you compile 2 or 3 god awful meals together,
Yeah.
that's where you
Yeah.
would see some side effects, but if you say you go to Five Guys or you just go bury a Philly with some chips and maybe a little side dish of
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
Greek
Yeah.
Greek pasta at an Italian deli, if you cap it there, I think it's okay, but
You're
now
probably doing okay.
if you move into the Culvers with the cheese curds and the Butterburger after that, now you're on heart attack watch.
And sometimes it's hard not to hit that second stop,
Oh, it's so tough.
because like you've had the lunch. Okay. Now you're like dinner. Oh, do I actually really eat healthy here or do I just head to Culver's and a butter burger?
And
It's tough.
and what's the science on why can you muck so much food when you're stung?
I don't understand it. I can eat, I don't get full. It's crazy. And I
No.
actually don't crave, I don't even really want to eat that much. I don't really, I don't have any need to eat anything unhealthy throughout the day or when I'm not hung. But when I'm hung, I'm just like, I need 20,000 calories of grease, basically, is what I'm
Yes.
craving.
Dude, you know what actually sounded unreal, and I fought it off because I had a burger and wings for my stung meal that day, but they had a milkshake on the menu. Oh my god, how good is a stung milkshake, dude? Especially if you're like
Oh,
ripping darts or something that night, or you hit
oh, unbelievable.
some kids vape and your throat
Yeah.
is yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's tough. That's an awesome day though. Anytime you can step into one of those,
yep.
the juice is usually worth the squeeze, I think. I think it's worth the consequences you face the next few days.
Yes, yeah, I do, and those are always scary when those ones where you just know you're gonna floor it and you floor it just how you thought you drew it up and you come out of the gates actually harder than you thought you had. But that's baseball, Oswald, and that's enough about me, my friend. What did you get up to this weekend before we get into the UND semifinal recap? That's a game we always lose, which is fine with us. But what did we get up to in mini? Was the weather permitting to kind of slide into one for St. Patty's Day?
Yeah, I mean, St. Patty's Day Saturday, it started snowing on Saturday. I chose to stay away. Everyone goes to St. Paul for St. Patty's Day. Um, and actually on Friday, I went over to Casey Purper's house with my wife. His wife was there, and then Kip and Ledoux was there.
Oh, nice.
So we kind of all just caught up. Perp was drinking his Busch Lights. I actually had myself a bottle of Pinot Noir, which is why I asked you about, because it was hilarious. Like you have a bottle of wine, which like for me, it's like whatever. It's kind of
Yeah.
nothing, honestly. I gotta get a good buzz from it, but fuck, the next day I'm like hungover. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I had one bottle of wine. I had water after before I went to bed. Like this is bullshit. I did nothing on Saturday. Just hung around the house. It started snowing. I obviously watched the UND game, which we can get into later. And then Sunday, actually, there's a foot of snow on the ground, and I go out to a buddy's house, and his fiance's girlfriend's parents have a big lot of land, and they've got all these side by sides and snowmobiles and all this shit, and we get in all this equipment and we just rip it around and go to the small town bars that are in this town and just rip around all day in these machines. And it was just an unbelievable day, honestly. I mean, these machines are so goddamn fun, man. I don't have a place to put them, but if you have like a big shed and you just have the money, they're so much fun. I don't understand how they make them and they don't break down, because the whole time you're driving them, you're just absolutely beating the piss out of them, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
is what's a? I haven't driven a snowmobile in forever, and it's been a long time since I've driven, a nice one. Like the technology has changed so much. Is it like stick handling a motorcycle, or is it even easier these days?
no, I mean, it's a little bit easier. The snowmobiles are a bit sketchy because they're so tippy. Like if you turn quick, you can easily tip this thing, and then if it falls on your leg, it's heavy as fuck. So
Yeah.
your ankle or your knee is fucked. I tipped mine once, but I don't know. It's kind of sketchy too because you can floor these things and you're going you can go 0 to whatever 60 pretty quick. And there's so much snow on the ground, you can't really see what's underneath the snow. So sometimes it can get a little hairy, especially with, how fast you're going. And I guess, how many beers you've had at the small town bars, at the pit stops, sometimes it can get sketchy. So the snowmobiles are definitely the most dangerous part because they can tip and there's so much power on them. You can absolutely floor them. The side-by-sides, I was sitting in this just a one-seater side-by-side fucking steering wheel right in the middle of it. I mean, you can buzz this thing. It's got a roll cage, nice seat belt, so if you actually do roll it, you're probably sitting pretty.
Yeah.
But that thing, I wasn't scared at all driving that thing. It was unbelievable.
Is the side-by-side the better play if you're out there, you think? Or
it's the better play. I think they're twice as expensive. You can use them in the summer, though, so I think they are the play if you've got the dough to do it and the storage for it. The snowmobile, I would say, is more fun if you're going long distance. You can buzz a snowmobile. If you want to go on a snowmobile trip and there's good snow out, you can leave at 8 a.m. and you can buzz for, all day. You can go 50, 60 miles if you want to. I wouldn't really want to do that in the side-by-side, but I guess that's the difference there. But the side-by-sides are I don't know what they're getting up to nowadays. It's probably $50,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like buying a brand new car.
Yeah, those snowmobiles, especially in northern Wisconsin, same with northern Minnesota, but I know that there's trails in northern Wisconsin that guys rip all the time that they take them up to the UP. And they just go bar to bar from Eagle River to Rhinelander to, all
Clint did that twice this winter, and I'm pissed I didn't go because there was
Did he go in Wisconsin?
Yeah, he went northern Wisconsin, UP, Michigan. So. Yeah. And there's just a trail and there's bars along this trail. It sounds unbelievable. And there's 6 feet of snow.
Yeah, that's what Clint Borby, Jake Schmaltz's uncle, basically an uncle to me, that he would always do that. And buddies that I know from Wisco, they swear by that, but they do say it's a little bit dicey, and especially later in the day if you're with some guys that are stick handling a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And that those trails aren't too wide either, so you got to be worried about trees and especially if the sun is setting or the visibility isn't perfect.
Oh yeah.
And then you're getting onto the lakes and the Eagle River chain, you just don't know.
You don't know, and then you don't know if someone's coming from the other direction. And then if there is a turn, if you fall and you're in front, well, the people behind you are buzzing along, they might not see that you fell, and then they got to bail. Every time I've ridden on these things, there's been a little accident or a crash or a little part where it's oh fuck, this is dangerous,
yeah,
those things it reminds you, it's oh fuck, these we're kind of messing around right now, this isn't that safe. You hear about a lot of snowmobiling accidents happen, those guys that do it a lot. I mean,
you do, don't you? Because even that Tampa Bay Lightning owner, Jeff Vinnick, he couldn't attend. They said during that stadium series, he couldn't attend the game because he got in a snowmobile accident.
It's common. If you're riding them quite a bit, if you're a guy who has his own snowmobile, chances are you've been in a pretty serious wreck and have broken something from it.
Yeah. Would you say it's more dangerous than skiing?
I would say so for sure, just because
the machinery.
Skiing, I feel like you have more control to skiing. Now obviously you can crash pretty hard skiing, but I think the worst thing you're going to do is kind of tear your ACL or something skiing, where snowmobiling, you could easily some of these 800s, you're ripping them 100 miles an hour, and there's nothing around you. You're just sitting on top of this machine. There's no roll bar. You're not strapped in. So if you hit something, you're going flying. You don't know what's underneath the snow. I mean, it's fucking dangerous.
Yeah, then you're in the trees too.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's what I would always worry about. That's why I don't ski in the trees too, Auzzo, because I think I've said it on this pod before though, but I had a guy that was a longtime veteran skier tell me, years back was you ski in the trees, you risk death. If you ski just inside the ropes,
Yeah.
the worst that's going to happen is a concussion, a knee injury, a shoulder.
Mhm.
Generally, you'd be all right. But he said, you get in the trees and you're going fast, like, and it's not just like those little trails where you're popping in and out of, right? It's
No.
like fucking diving in. Dude.
Yeah.
So I've always been cognizant of that. Yeah, man. I don't know. Like I've always wanted to do it, the snowmobiling. It just, I don't know, something kind of scares me about
It gets your adrenaline going, and a guy like myself, I like to think like I'm I'm probably above the average person in terms of like how far I'll go with it.
Yeah.
But when you're riding with some other guys who are just fucking crazy asses, you feel like a little bitch sometimes.
Yeah.
But you're like, I can't go as fast as those guys are going. Like that's crazy. They're getting pretty close to injuring themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Even just driving like a go-kart or a side-by-side, even just, ripping it out in the country. I'm not, I don't really have that like same like need for speed as some of those lunatics do.
No, and some of those guys do have like a little bit of an adrenaline itch, where I would say it's like similar to those free solo climbers. Like they just like feeling close to, they like feeling dangerous, like,
Yeah, like
oh,
death is like right over there. They can kind
it's,
of feel, they can
yeah,
see it,
like
and feel it.
death is right. It's right across the door here. If I open
Yeah,
this door handle, like he's popping in, you know.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
I don't even like getting close to that door. Like
No, I,
I'll pop into the mud room and like see his feet underneath the door there, and I'll be like, okay, there he
yeah.
is. But I'm not getting close to the door.
No, like full discretion, like I'm probably just chilling in the living room. I might even be upstairs with the door closed. I don't need to go there. But yeah, that sounds dope, bro. That's one of these years I would just feel like such a puss if I got on one of those things and I was going because I know I wouldn't go fast. I would just be
Mhm.
kind of just cruising with, some big shades on or goggles, hanging out and
It's
keeping it.
still fun though doing that. It's like skiing,
Yeah,
like you don't have to push it to have fun. I think
right.
it'd be fun to go on a ski trip. You go skiing one day and maybe grab a couple mountain snowmobiles and hit the trails in the mountains. But
Yeah.
like you said too, it is it's kind of tough when you do feel like a bitch when you're with some of these guys because you're like, fuck, I'm not going that fast. Like there ain't no way.
Yeah. No kidding. Auzzo, let's get into some hockey talk. My friend, you are our college hockey insider. UND at home, semifinal match. First year, obviously, of doing the hometown tilts for the higher seeded team. They welcomed Scott Sandelin, aka Beach, and the UMD Bulldogs into town. We knew it was going to be a tough tilt. These teams for the regular season were tied at 2 games apiece in terms of how many they had won. This was game 5, if you will. Got beat up a little bit. One would say got piss pounded 5-1. Did the score reflect the game is what I wanted to ask you.
No, it didn't. Now Duluth deserved to win the game. They were the better team. It looked like they had a little more, pop in their game. It was a pretty evenly matched game. I would say it was one of those games, Jordo, where like everything was going Duluth's way
Yep.
and really nothing was going North Dakota's way. And it just had that feeling, honestly, from the puck drop. I don't know what it is. I felt that way too in this game. Like you've played in this game too, the semifinal and the NCHC playoff. You tell yourself to get up for it, and like everyone on the team's like, "Oh, playoff game, let's go! Like it's a big one. This is a big one." And then after the game, you realize like, it really wasn't that big. Our season wasn't on the line. We really, truly didn't care as much as we should have, or as much as we will care when we win the NCAA tournament. It had that feeling to it. It was tough to swallow, Jordo, just because it was the season series on the line, and Duluth, they won the season series. I mean, we played them 5 games. They beat us 3. We beat them 2. That's tough to swallow, Jordo, because this North Dakota team is a better team than the Duluth Bulldogs this year. They have the better first line, I think, but overall team-wise, we should have won the season series. I don't know. It's tough. I don't like. Are we best off of the week's rest, or are we best off playing a high intensity game in next Saturday? I don't know, but I think this team will learn from that game and kind of take that taste that they have in their mouths with them. It just sucks. It was a different. It was at the Ralph. Duluth is a team I thought they've got kind of one line that if you shut them down, typically you'll win the game. That wasn't the case for this game, but that really favors the home team, especially if you're UND, because you can put the guys you want out there after every whistle or whatever. So theoretically, we should have won that game. It's a little scary heading into the NCAA playoff the tournament with our goaltender of the year, NCHC goaltender of the year, Jordan Schmaltz, letting up 5 goals in that game, letting up a few against Omaha. I think the amount of goals he's let up these last few weeks is a little worrisome, but I do think after watching this team play all season long, I'm not worried about them bringing their best game come tournament time. So I'm not worried about it. I'm just a little disappointed with how it panned out. But again, as we know, like we've talked about, Jordo, it's you try to get up for that game as much as you want, but in reality, you're never going to truly get up for it. I don't know what it is about North Dakota, Jordo. I've always felt that way, even when I was playing. Now that I've been a fan watching, it's just you can't get up for that game. And clearly Duluth and Denver can get up for that game for some reason. They've each won the playoff 3 times. Whoever wins next Saturday, that'll be the 4th time. I don't know. Why can they get up for these games and why can't we? I don't have an answer.
Yeah. Well, first of all, with the new format, the only thing that scares me a little bit, and I don't even know if it scares, but I would just take mental note of it, is 11 days off between games. Now, if you do date it back to last year and years previously, even if you lose that semifinal game, you have the 3rd place game, whatever. Some years I don't think they did the 3rd place game, but it was only about a week off and maybe less, 6 days. Now we go to 11 days off. I don't know. And that just brings me to, are we going to be as crisp? Are we going to be thinking about that too long? We're entering almost into another mini camp. We've already had, I believe it was 2 weekends that we haven't played games at this first part of the year. There was a weekend off. And then obviously for Palooza in and around January. Now those are gone and past, so it doesn't matter. But at this time of the year with a 1-game shot, I don't know. That just brings me. It's just an observation I make, and it's going to be a credit to the coaching staff to keep these boys in shape. The boys obviously won't be hitting the gas in terms of just going on a full-on bender because they're pros and they know what's at stake. But are we guaranteed a number 1 seed?
Oh yeah, we're locked into we're locked into the 2 seed overall.
Okay, so we're locked into the 2 seed. So I guess theoretically, if you get the 15 seed or whatever overall, even if you are a little bit rusty, but I guess you just never know. I that's just the one thing is that's just a lot of time in between games, and I think we're gonna be all right. It's just something that I look at and I'm like,
it's not ideal. It's almost
not.
like can we pay someone to come in and play an exhibition next weekend?
That's what I was thinking. Can we get spank around Manitoba for 1 weekend and bring the Bison down and just shit kick them?
You call up the NTDP, see what they're doing.
Right.
Maybe the 18 team wants to come out. I don't know. It feels like that's a lot of time. And when that NCAA, when the frozen faceoff would end, Jordan, we'd lose that semifinal game or whatever. Like you said, we'd only have 5 or 6 days. Everyone knows when the regular season ends or this NCHC playoff shit ends, you're itching to play that NCAA tournament game. 100%. So now you got that itch for 2 weeks. It's like, oh fuck, that's a long itch.
Yeah, and it's you're entering a different time of the season clearly. And how do you structure your practices? Are we doing inter squad games? Do I really want 11 days off in between losing a conference tournament game that we just got whacked on paper 5-1? Our goaltending maybe didn't have the outcome, and a lot of our players didn't have the overall outcome. And I would just say the spirits have to stay up, and it's also just staying sharp is the biggest thing, because you have that selection Sunday, whether you lose out on in the semifinal game and you play on Saturday, and the next day bam, we know where we're going, we know where we're playing. Like, we're not going to know what regional we're going to, right, until next Sunday. And what are the even, this is how far out of the loop I am. I'm just worried about chug offs, but where are the regionals this year? Is one in Fargo?
No, it's in Sioux Falls. So they're hoping to
Okay.
go to Sioux Falls. But I haven't read Schloss's article on it. I think there is one in Colorado as well. And then there's one over in
Is that is that Loveland?
Yeah, I think so. Loveland, Sioux Falls, and then I want to say there's one over in like Worcester or Manchester or something like that.
Yep.
Which is, I've seen some that we might be headed there. I don't know how. I actually don't know what would be best, like to stay close to home or just head over east where we're gonna have no fans and just try to muck it out. I don't know what's better, because there is a lot of pressure when the building's gonna be filled with Sioux fans too.
Yeah. I think you'd always want your fans, and just based on experience in Fargo with that building absolutely rocking. And if you could get down the I-29 and the weather's decent, I think ultimately you'd want to be in Sioux Falls. Auzzo, I wanted to ask you though, so the boys, that will be the weekend of the 27th or the 26th through the 29th, somewhere in there of March. And then they're going to, if you win your regional, there's another week off, because I believe the Frozen Four is the 9th and the 11th. So that's another, dude, 2 bye weekends and fucking 4 weeks is bullshit.
I know they're going to play.
What are we doing?
Let's say right now, they still might have like a month left of season, but only have 4 games left if they were to make the championship. It's like,
right. So you're going to play. I mean, they lost out on Friday the 13th, correct?
Yeah. Saturday.
So,
Saturday the 14th.
Saturday the 14th. So you're going to play. You're going to play almost like 3 games in like 3.5 weeks. Like, if you make it to the Frozen Four before you get there, like, that's crazy to me.
It's nuts. It's not ideal, but a lot of other teams will have to deal with it too, I guess. But yeah, it's in Sioux Falls, Worcester, Loveland, and Albany, New York.
Ooh, Albany, dude. Avoid that place at all costs. There's no way they'd throw them there.
You wouldn't think so. I mean, Michigan and Michigan State and Western will all be 1 seeds. Maybe Denver might sneak in there. I'm not sure. But you'd think they'd keep all those teams on the East Coast, right? But I don't know how they pick this stuff. I really don't.
Yeah, I would honestly hope Denver would somehow win at Magnus this weekend, and then they get a 1 seed, because I wouldn't want to go into the chin of Loveland and play Denver as my 2 seed. I really wouldn't. I mean, if we're speaking about hypotheticals right now with David Carr on those guys and just what they do at tournament time, like, I would much rather welcome even one of those other teams you mentioned, like a Michigan State or someone, to slide out and then become a 2 and they come into Sioux Falls or wherever, just because I just know what Denver does.
I do not want Denver in Colorado. You do not want to see Denver in Colorado. It's up in the altitude. They're already used to it. Yeah, that's not what you want. I saw right now, I think Western would be the number 1 seed at Loveland, and Denver would be the 2 seed there.
Okay.
And then Duluth would actually be the 2 seed in Sioux Falls with UND, which I welcome. I want to see Duluth again. I would love to, because I don't think they're going to have the same game that they just had against us. Now, they're really good. They're ranked 6th in the nation right now, but I would feel much better playing them than Denver.
Yeah, me too. So, boys, up in Nodak, stay with it. You got 10 days of practice. Stay off the piss. Stay out of the bun. That can wait for after the season. Auzzo, wanted to go to the National League quick. Wanted to ask you something. You've been a captain of many teams over your life. Now, we saw the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs take a nasty knee-on-knee from Radko Gudas. Now, the hit is what it is. It deserves anywhere between what he got in 5 games to some who may argue more. That is not the point of what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say to you is, as the guy that's been a captain of some very good hockey clubs before and some tight-knit teams, how pathetic was that response in real time from the Toronto Maple Leafs that were on the ice and that witnessed their captain get brutally cheap-shotted and do nothing in real time about it? That was fucking bullshit.
Yeah, not a great look. One, I guess, you could say, like, who else is out there with him? Willie Nylander. He's not going to do shit. Like, you don't even want him to do anything. I don't know who the D-men were out there.
Morgan Riley was out there.
Okay.
I mean, he's not going to do anything either. But
you don't even have to do anything, though. You just go seatbelt the guy. Like
hear me out, Cap. Like, what if you just go Phil Kessel on John Scott and you're Willie Nylander and you just tomahawk him?
Yeah.
Do something, man. I'm not saying you have to fight. And I like Willie Nylander, obviously a family friend, or you're Morgan Riley. You're 12 years into the league. You made 60, 70 million. This is allegedly your best friend and your head of the snake. How do you not go over there and just tomahawk him or something? Like, fucking butt end him in the face. You don't have to fight him. You really don't. I don't think I would have fought him in, like, now at my point of where I understand what hockey is. I would have. When I was 22, no, I wouldn't have. I would have said, I would have been Willie Nylander.
You might have two-handed him, though, in the back of the knee.
I would have. Yes, I would have. Exactly what I'm saying. I would have went full criminal on him and speared him. I would have. I wouldn't have squared up with him because I know how to get my ass kicked by Gudis. But I would have went over there and at least addressed him, and I would have cheap shot at him. I would have tried to knock his teeth out. I would have done something with my stick, and just to not do anything, man.
I know,
crazy.
It's nuts. It's like a bad look on the coach. It's a bad look on the entire team. It's a bad look on AM34. I mean, did they not like the guy? I don't think that's the case. I just think these guys were just like, fuck, it's Rad. I know Radko Gudas is scary too. I mean, you don't want to fuck with that guy, but still, it's like, I don't know. What people are going to be saying about it afterwards too. Like, every time I was on the ice with a guy like that, or every time I was on the ice when that happened, I'd be like, oh, fuck. Skate over and do something, You don't want to, but it's just like you're a hockey player. It's like you have to, right? Like it's part of the game. Especially if your best player, the guy who's on pace to beat Ovi's goal record, he goes down. I mean, that's like an automatic. If anyone touches him, you have to step in and do something. It doesn't matter who does it to him.
Yeah, I just hate in the reaction even after the game. And look, I really like Willie Nylander. Like, he's a family friend. He's a buddy. He's Nick's buddy. But I would tell him to his own chin that you can't go in the media after the game. And when they ask you, what about that play did you see? And you say, I didn't see it. And then you roll the tape back. And Auzzo, he's the first guy to put his hand up.
Oh, yeah.
He's the first guy to put his hand up to the referee saying, where's the call? And then you go out in the media and you say, I didn't see it. I mean, what does that say? That to me screams a very selfish act, number one. I don't care if that's how he feels, if that's what it is. That does scream selfish. And that, number two, most importantly, screams, you don't give a fuck about that guy.
Yeah.
And it sucks to say, but it's true.
It is.
And for your captain to go down like that, and
I've stepped up for a guy who I actually thought was an absolute pigeon loser.
Yes.
That got cheap shot in the game, and I had to go. I didn't drop the gloves with the guy, but I went and confronted the guy and, hacked his leg and tried to stick his foot, doing something. But
you knew how, like, you knew how it would look if you didn't do anything.
It's like part of the job. It's when you're a hockey player, especially, you just know if any of your skill guys get hit by anyone in any sort of way, you have to go do something about it. It's what you do in hockey. Even if I was on a bad team, you'd still feel like you have to do it. So that's why it's so crazy that maybe they're just so checked out on this season. They're just like, fuck it. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's just Like, that tells me everything you need to know about that group, and we're not saying fight. Like, let's be clear. Like, go over and skate and hit him in the back, cross check him, slash him, try to break his fucking hand. Who gives a fuck? Take a 3-game suspension on your own. This season is over. This is our best player. Like, grade 3 MCL. He's limping on the ice. I mean, he never gets hit like that. You know, it's just if you're Brad Treliving and the management there, I mean, you've already let Marner walk. This group hasn't done shit other than make it to the second round. It's almost at this point, does Austin Matthews even want to be there? I think that's a fair question. I mean, also, if I
Why
was,
would you not be begging for a trade if you're Austin Matthews?
that might be my final straw. I would be like, all right, like this is, I was thinking about maybe playing it out for you guys. I got a couple years left on this deal, but now that nobody even cares. And I was talking about it a little bit on HB3. You've seen the movie Training Day, right? With Denzel Washington.
Mm.
Now, the last scene or one of the last scenes in that movie with Lonzo, aka Denzel, is when he is laying on his back and he realizes that the hood doesn't have his back.
With them, yeah.
They ain't riding with him anymore. Mm-hmm. They were up until a point, but then they turned on him before he even knew it because he wasn't being good to them, or they had turned on him. And when the hood turned on him, that's a lonely feeling, man. And that, to me, is a comparable to what is going on with Austin Matthews. And it's not a character issue with Matthews. It's just simply his teammates saying, you know what? I don't know if we're rocking with you anymore like that. I mean, and then to like answer the bell later in the game, to me, is just such a chicken shit play because, Craig Berube has to run in there and yell at him. Gudas is already out of the game. So, like, it's not like you're going after the culprit. You're going after just some random guy in the fucking Ducks that is an innocent bystander. Like, it's just – and that becomes staged. And I just hate that shit, man. It's so fake.
I know. And also, have you ever seen – I know we're talking about the Leafs, but have you ever seen a more blatant knee-on-knee trying to injure someone? I mean – Gudas, I love the guy as a player, like plays hard. He's been doing it forever, but how many fucking times is he going to do it? It's like, come on, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, it was so blatant and you're taking out like star players, man. You just need Crosby in the Olympics. I know it wasn't as bad or malicious as that one, but then he even had a dirty play on Hagel right in front of me when I was at that game in Milan. It's time and time again, and he hasn't been suspended in 7 years, which is insane to me. Like that's a feat in itself. He should give it a fucking medal because how has he got away with all the stuff he does? But yeah, that was
5 games too. Like just boot him the 20.
Yeah,
it was a blatant. Like, okay, he beat me, so I'm gonna stick my knee out to try to fucking hammer his knee.
Yeah, and the way that he went out to Matthews in the slot, Auzzo, like no defenseman besides him and maybe prime Jacob Trouba in New York would go out to a forward like that of that stature and skill level. Like if you were running out from say the lower dot to just on top of the dot, like it was like Gudas was lower than the hash mark. He's running out to almost dot width on the right side at the top of the circle, like prime slot. Like on Austin Matthews, you're not running out that fast at him. You're going stick on stick because he's either going to toe suck you or he's going to push it out and try to get a shot off or he's going to dangle it. Like you wouldn't go out there that recklessly. He went out there for one mission and it was just to take the guy out in some way he could.
Oh, yeah.
And he executed it.
It's like those guys. Now, do I think Gudas is a bad guy? Probably not. I've actually heard, I think his teammates like him and everything, but he's certainly got that, like just thing in his mind, like if this guy's getting past me, like I don't care, I'm fucking kneeing him.
Yeah. No, it's one of those like when your controller unplugs and I think those guys, man, like they genuinely don't even know it, but they're kind of out there and their system just aborts and they like have to try to hurt somebody.
Oh yeah, that it's for sure. I've played with guys like that.
Yeah. like it's just something like they haven't done it in like a game and they just have to try to do it.
No, I played with this one guy. He's an unbelievable dude, and we're on the bench, and guy dangles our guy, coming up the wall, and he sticks his stick out and sticks the guy in the face. He's like,
Yeah.
he just
Didn't even
he just walked our guy like I couldn't let him by. It's like, dude, you're on the bench. Like, what are you talking about? You couldn't let him by.
Like he did it before he even knew what he did, type of stuff, right?
Yes, he didn't even know he was doing it.
Yeah.
It's just it's like second nature.
Yes.
Which is what I think Gudis is thinking. Like he just loses control of his mind, and he's just like, I can't let him by.
Yeah. No, it for sure is like some sort of like, it's not a disease, but it's some sort of malfunction in those guys' head. Like when Trouba was so fixated on just burying chins, like it's just like, dude, like you're just so good at getting away with it. Like most of the time, it's just you get so fixated on something like, and maybe Gudis is just fixated on knees right now of star players because he took out Crosby and now it's Matthews.
He might be.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I just wanted your take on that because it's fucking bullshit and sad to see. So, hey, Mats, get healthy, fella. We need you for the tennis courts here in Scottsdale in a couple months. But Auzzo gonna go over to this week's People's Insider Term of the Week. And this week's People's Insider Term of the Week is Demon Locker. Now, what a Demon Locker is, it is a hot sauna. It is one of those stung saunas you take after rolling one over, going on a runner all night, and there is nothing that can get the piss out of every orifice of your body quite like a Demon Locker. The hotter, the better. Usually a Finnish sauna, usually a Russian sauna. That is your best bet to get all of that juice that you just put in, all of that just poison you put in your body the night before. Well, the only way out is sometimes further in. You got to go underneath the pores to get this shit out of you. So Auzzo, the Demon Locker is essential to people that especially booze. Gary Brecka recommends 3 to 4 days a week. Fuck Brecka. Do it for your own health and wellness. And talk to the peoples over here, Jay Swish, and just realize sometimes the only way to get the piss out, you've tried everything all day, the water, the fluids, nothing can flush the system, the kidneys, the liver out of the state you're in is none other than the Demon Locker. So get the sauna, sweat it out, baby. That's what you got to do after a big night out, Bella.
The Demon Locker. I love that. I'm going to start. I took a Demon Locker on Saturday this last weekend.
You got to get all the demons out of you. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you can feel them just chomping at the bit. Sometimes they're in your head. Sometimes they're in your body. The Demon Locker is a place that just releases everything out of you. And you come out of there and usually, well, most times you feel way better.
I love that. I'm going to start using that for sure. I've never heard that one.
Yeah. The Demon Locker, fella. Yeah. You just got to get those demons out of you. So Auzzo, that was episode 115. On the bone, across the screws. You know what? It was good snapping it with you, Cap. We will be back sometime next week. I'm going to the World Baseball Classic tomorrow, and then I'm getting my fucking skank hooker ass out of here and getting back to normal life. So
that's going to be epic, though.
It's going to be sick. Yeah, I hope Venezuela wins. So it's Venezuela, USA. They should win, but you never know. That was a good upset last night for sure.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I don't like the USA logo that we got though, but
brutal.
Can we not change that? Come on. All the jerseys, actually, even Canada's. It's like, who's making these jerseys? It's for another time though.
Fanatics, they're brutal. Yeah, you're right. Even like I'd say the Dominican was like the only one I like, but other than that, they're just brutes. All right, brother. Tape to tape as always. We out.